Hello guys, uh, welcome to Java Full Stack class. Today we are going to learn about what is form in HTML and how we can create a form in HTML. So here I have already created from form.html file. So here we are using form tag in form tag. So I want to add first name, last name, email ID, password like this input fields. So for that first I want to add label. So with the help of label tag we can add, because by default label add some CSS properties. We can see step by step. So first I want to add first name, label as a first name, and then input text box using input tag. So here we no need to pass type as a text, because in input tag by default it has a type as a text, so we no need to mention like type as a text. And I want to add placeholder. We can skip also placeholder because we have mentioned label here. Suppose if I haven't mentioned any label, so for understanding purpose, user understand like which information here I need to add. For that understanding we just use placeholder, but now we have used label, so if we skip that part, if it is fine, then it is fine. But I'm adding a placeholder here also, like first enter first name, enter first name. Then we can copy, you can see. Okay, then I want to copy one more, control C. Okay, we can copy this line. Suppose I want to add first name, last name, email ID, password. First name, last name, email ID. We need to add four input text boxes. So first enter first name, then second label I want to add last name, then third like email ID, email, then password. We can see. So now it is not showing in a, it is showing in a one line. So I don't want to show like this. I want to show each and every label and in text box in a next line. So for that just we need to use block level element. So what is block level element means? With the help of block level element means we can use para, because it has some by default some CSS properties, extra feature functionality. We can wrap this label and text box in a block level element, so it will come into the each and every label input text box come into the new line with the help of this block element. We can use div also, div tag also here. After this one more para tag, and we can wrap this and label tag and input tag in a p tag. So now it is in each and every text box, and input tag is in next line. Okay, and I want to add one more button in para tag, button, suppose submit. Okay, now we have added button. And also okay, I want to change placeholder, first name, then last name, and then email and password, email and password. Okay, okay. And we can add one more, why we use label tag without using other tag like span. So like when I click on this label, I want to focus this text box. When I click on last name, also it is, I want to show in a focus. So for that we need to pass for attribute in a label. So I'm adding like first name, other, okay, it is fine. And same id, with the same name, I need to use id here, first name. So when I click on this, it will focus this text box. So similar for others I want to add. So just we need to add for attribute, last name, same, same with the same name, we need to pass id, last name. Okay, and for password also and email also. See, in a label I need to pass for attribute, email, and in a text box we need to use id. Like for considering id we use for unique identification, like which text box we need to focus. For that we need to pass same, means with the help of with the same name we need to pass id, email, and for password also same, using for attribute, pwd suppose, and same with the help of id we need to pass same value, pwd. Okay, so when I select last name it will focus, email id, password. So each and every text box is working fine. And like I want to add name, name and value attribute. Suppose same first name, we can pass other value also, value like, suppose here I'm adding first name and value is equal to first name. Same here, sorry, yes, name attribute I want to add. Okay. Name equal to last name, then same for value attribute, value is equal to last name, last name. Okay, and same for other text boxes here, name, and we can understand after that, like after typing this code, email, then value also email, email. Okay, and for password also same, name as name equal to pass pwd, or we can add password also, and value as a password, password. Okay, so now uh, I want to add check radio buttons. So for that also I'm taking paradigm, and here first label like gender. So if I want to if we want to select uh, if you want to select only one choice from multiple choices, so we can, that time we can use radio button. Same using input text box, just we need to change that type. So here also I need to add value, like a value for, like I want to add email id, password. So for that just we need to we have, okay, here I need to also mention type. We haven't mentioned type, so it is working like normal text, so we need to change that type, like email, type as a email, so we can add email id here. Here also I need to change that type as a password. So we are able to add password, means we can hide this value while typing. Okay, and then we have added, so here we are adding radio buttons with the help of input text box. Just we need to mention, if I want to convert this normal input text box into the radio button, we need to use type as a radio, so it will convert that normal text box into the radio buttons. And for this label, I want to add like which data I want to select, so for that we need to add data with the help of label. So gender, like male, same data I want to copy 3 times, control P. Female, then other. Okay, and here also we need to use lab for attribute, for like when I select, okay, I haven't saved, so that's why. So when I select, when I click on this label, it will select that radio buttons like this I want to. So for that we need to use for attribute. Male, same here for female, and one more for this label, like for other. Okay, and also we need to mention id in a text box with the same name, male. Then for same here, then here also just we need to change that value like female, and last is other. Okay, so when I click on this, so now each and every radio button is selected. I don't want to like, I don't want to show like this. Like when I click on male, it will unselect, means if we by like I have already selected male option, male radio button, label for male, I have selected this radio button, but I, when I select other, it need to be unselect. So I want to show like this. So for that we need to use one attribute like name attribute. So here we need to use name attribute like gender. Same here we need to use same value. If we want to showing that each and every radio buttons is related to each other, so for that we need to pass same name attribute as the same value like gender, so we can understand like it is, so it is working like group, means we can select only one option from multiple option. So now it is working fine. Okay. Suppose by default, okay, first name last name, so I need to change. Okay, suppose I am adding, again we are trying, and I'm selecting female. So now it is by default we only add value for first name and like gender. So for gender it is showing on password, because we haven't mentioned, we haven't filled, we haven't added any value for email, password and last name. Just for first name it is adding, it is passing value as Ashwini. Okay, and one more, here I'm adding gender. So now we are one more. Then suppose last name I'm adding more. Email ID suppose EBC and female. Okay, and I want to select. So it is showing, it is giving like please include an at the rate in the email address, because we must need to pass at the rate. And after that, if I won't mention any, if it is working, it is not working. So I'm adding. So now it is adding gender is equal to password. So for now, for email ID, it is passing that value, first name, last name, Ashu Morin. So it is passing. For gender, it is passing ON. Okay, 1 minute. Uh, Suppose I want to change gender. Female, female. It need to pass value like 1 minute. I haven't mentioned value attribute here, so that's why. Okay, so now we are checking. Suppose password I'm adding Sure Mori, last name is Mori, and female. Email ID suppose Ashu at the rate 123, and then we are submitting. So gender equal to, okay, we haven't select gender first time. 1 minute, we are refreshing. Suppose I'm passing different name Radha, and I'm selecting only password, two options. Gender equal to first name, it is not selecting. 1 minute. Value suppose value I want to pass as M, then suppose I want to pass female for F and others for O. So now it will add that value. Suppose I just want to select two options. Suppose here I want to add Raj. So now for gender it is passing F for female, because I was selecting female, and name is Raj. Other value it is not showing because we haven't passed any data for this attributes, for this name, like first name, email and pass name, sorry, last name, email and password. Just we have passed value for first name and gender. So like this we can add. So we can create form like this. Thank you guys. Thanks.